Good morning everyone and welcome to another VKids Sunday. It's so great to have you join with us today. Good morning Hamilton, how are you? You good? Yeah, bit warm. Yeah, me too. It has been so hot, hasn't it, this week? But we have got so much fun stuff lined up for you this morning. We have got our worship, we've got a story, we've got our response time, and we've got our God spot. So we're going to head over there now to see what's been happening this week. All right, it's time for the God spot now, and we have had so many things sent in, haven't we, Hamilton, which we're going to share with you now. So we had Eloise and Jack who sent in these pictures of Noah's Ark, and Jack also sent this special one just for you, Hamilton, so that was kind of him, wasn't it? Thank you, Eloise and Jack. And then we had Sohan Beer who sent in this picture of him rocking out on the drums to Deep Cries Out. I love that one as well. And we had Brooklyn and Aria who have been doing our activity packs from the website, and these are the pictures that they've sent in from there. So thank you all for sending in your pictures. We love to see what you guys have been up to. So please continue to send them to our vkids@vintagechurchla.com email address, because we love to see what you guys have been doing. Okay, Hamilton, it's time for your favourite part of the morning. It's the story. And this morning I'm going to be telling the story, and it's all about some people who built a big tower. So let's find out what happened. I'm going to read our story today from the Jesus Storybook Bible, and I know that some of you have got this at home, so if you want to find it at home, this one's called A Giant Staircase to Heaven. Noah and his family lived in the land, and his children had children, and those children had more children, and then those children had even more. Well, you get the picture. Until there were lots of people on the earth once more. Now, back then, everyone spoke exactly the same language, so you didn't need to learn Swahili or Japanese or anything, because you could just say hello to anyone and they knew what you meant. One day, everyone was talking and they came up with an idea. Let's build ourselves a beautiful city to live in. Then they had another idea, and let's build a really tall tower to reach up to heaven. Yes, they said. We'll say, look at us up here, and everyone will look up at us, and we'll look down on them, and then we'll know we are something. We'll be like God. We'll be famous and safe and happy, and everything will be all right. So they got to work. Brick by brick, the tower grew higher and higher until it soared above the city, touching the sky. They built stairs in the tower to climb to the top. It was like a giant staircase to heaven. Look, they cheered. We're the ones. See what we can do with our very own hands. They were quite pleased with themselves. But God wasn't pleased with them. God could see what they were doing. They were trying to live without Him, but God knew that wouldn't make them happy or safe or anything. If they kept on like this, they would only destroy themselves, and God loved them so much to let that happen. So He stopped their plans. One morning, they went to work as usual, but everything was different. Their words were all new and funny. You see, God had given each person a completely different language. Suddenly, no one understood what anyone else was saying. Someone would say, "How do you do?" And the other person thought they were saying, "How ugly are you?" It wasn't funny. You could be saying something nice like, "It's such a lovely morning," and get a punch in the nose because they thought you'd said, "Shut up, you're boring." You couldn't even say pardon to check if you'd heard right, because no one understood that word either. It wasn't easy to work together after that, as you can imagine. People were always quarrelling and fighting and getting into a dreadful muddle and becoming grumpier and grumpier, until at last they were all too cross to keep on building, and they just had to stop. After that, people scattered all over the world, which is how we ended up with so many different languages today. You see, God knew however high they reached, however hard they tried, people could never get back to heaven by themselves. People didn't need a staircase, they needed a rescuer. Because the way back to heaven wasn't a staircase, it was a person. People could never reach up to heaven, so heaven would have to come down to them. And one day, it would. It's time for our response time now, and I am pleased to welcome back Professor Bonkers, who's going to tell us a little bit more about what that story might mean to us. Over to you, Professor Bonkers. Hello everyone, Professor IB Bonkers here with you again for a Sunday morning. It's great to be here. Now, what an interesting story about the people who tried to build a tower to get to God. But God stopped them, didn't he, and made them all speak different languages so they couldn't understand each other. Because the thing is, the way to God isn't a tower, it's a person, isn't it? It's Jesus. So I'm going to do a little experiment to tell you a little bit more about that. So I've got here 3 cups. They've all got some water in, if you can see. And these cups are like Jesus. He's always ready and willing. He's got his arms open. We just have to ask him into our hearts, don't we? And he loves us so much. But sometimes we can do things that maybe put something in between us and Jesus, can't we? So we put a little bit of a barrier, something in the way, and then maybe we do something else and it puts something else in the way, and we feel like we're far away from Jesus, don't we? But the thing is, Jesus is he loves us so much. He's ready to welcome us with open arms. So here's the thing. And Jesus is the way to God, isn't he? Now, this is us. That's me. That might be you. This might be someone else we know. Okay, and we've built these things that are in the way between us and Jesus, aren't they? But what do you think is going to happen if I move this out of the way? Do you think we're going to go all over the place, or do you think we'll be back with Jesus? Shall we find out? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Look, we've gone right back into the cups. Every egg went into a cup. So we're all back with Jesus, aren't we? Because he loves us so much. He loves us all the time. Whatever we do, there's nothing we can do to make him love us any more. There's nothing we can do to make him love us any less. And he wants us to be his friend, doesn't he? Brilliant. And if you try this at home, maybe put something down on the table just in case one of the eggs doesn't make it back into the cup. But I think you might find that they always make it back into the cup. Amazing. So it's been nice to see you, and have a good Sunday. I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, it's time for our memory verse now. So Hamilton's gone over to his house so that he can tell us more about what the memory verse is this week. So over to you, Hamilton.
Thanks, Fiona. Right, the memory verse is from the book of John, which is in the New Testament, and it's chapter 14, verse 6. And it says, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And now I'm going to pass you over to my friend, architect Annie, who's going to explain it a bit more. Hello, Annie.
Hi there, my name is Architect Annie, and this is my associate, Manny the Bear. Together, we're known as Annie and Manny, and we own this architecture firm that specializes in bridges. Today, we're going to look at our memory verse that comes from John 14:6, which says, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And we're going to use bridges today as a lens to look at that verse. Can I give you guys a little pop quiz? Who recognizes this bridge right here? I'll give you a clue. It's in San Francisco, California. That's right, this is called the Golden Gate Bridge. And how about this one? This one is from London, England. That's the clue, London. That's right, this is London Bridge. I like to visit these bridges for inspiration for my own projects. I'm about to build a prototype for my next bridge. Will you help us build their bridge? You will? Oh, thank you so much. All right, I'm gonna need a construction hat, which I have right here, and a hammer. We're gonna do some construction work. So here we go. Point A. Oop. Point B. And as we talked about, there's a gap in the middle. So what do we need, friends, when there's a gap? That's right, we need a bridge. So we have 3 items that we're gonna experiment with today, and Mr. Manny has them right here. So the first one is our tissue, right here, and we're gonna have, we're gonna have the car test this out. Yeah, that didn't work, that was too weak. Okay, next one please. Our piece of paper. And let's have Mr. Dinosaur test it out. Walk across, please. That didn't work either. All right, Mr. Manny. Third time's the charm. Let's see. The train fell. Oh, what are we gonna do? That's all the supplies I had. So the only way to get from one side to the other side to God is through Jesus Christ. So he is the bridge, and that is why our memory verse says Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. He is the way. He is the way, which means he is the bridge. We can cross over to God through Jesus. And he is the truth. His words are true. And he is life. So when we accept the price that he's paid on the cross, we can have eternal life. We can be bridge makers with him. So if you have a friend who doesn't know Jesus yet, we can share the good news with them and we can cross the bridge together. So I hope you're encouraged by that as we go out and be bridge makers in our community, in our families, in our schools, and I will see you on the next adventure. Bye!
It's time for our worship now, so I'm going to hand right over to everyone's favourite Australian, Jenny Jogs a lot, and she's going to lead us in a bit of a warm-up so that we're ready for worship. Over to you, Jenny. Oh, hey guys, Jenny Jogs a lot here. You just called me in the middle of my workout here in Melbourne, Australia. Now, I've heard you guys have had a real heat wave over there, so it's really hot. Well, obviously, I'm in Melbourne, so it's the winter. So if you see me sweating, it's not because of the heat, it's because I've just been working out really hard. So that's why, all right? Now, you guys are going to be doing the same song as last time, but I think it was a few weeks ago, the Waymaker song about how God keeps his promises and he's the way to Jesus. So I'm just going to go over those actions again in case you've forgotten. So do you remember it went Waymaker, Miracle Worker, Promise Keeper, Light in the darkness, our God, that is who you are. You've got it, well done. Now, don't forget we also need to just warm up a little bit before we do our worship song. So I want you to stand up wherever you are, if you're in bed still, if you're in the kitchen, if you're on the sofa, you need to get up and we're gonna do 10 punches like this. Now, I know some of you siblings might wanna accidentally punch your brother or sister, so make sure there's enough space between you all, okay? And we're gonna do 10. Here we go. So we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, you guys. Don't forget, keep jogging, and let's go into our worship. so great having you join with us again for another VKids Sunday. I hope that you've had lots of fun and that you have a good time trying that Professor Bonkers experiment at home as well. Don't forget to check out all of our online curriculum at vintagechurchla.com/VKids, and you can find all sorts of activities to get on with there during the week. But until next week, it's goodbye from me and Hamilton, and we'll see you soon. Bye!